Before you watch this video, make sure to check out part 1 to get a better understanding of what's going on here. You can find the link in the description below. Now that you are caught up on the Crystal City and Cindy's angelic identity, get ready to discover her true purpose in life. Is she a second wave volunteer on Earth? The answer to this question will unravel a mystery, and you might just receive some amazing advice from the beyond. Pay attention and hold on tight, because this journey is about to get even more exciting. Every life has a lesson and a purpose. As you look at this life, what did you learn from it?
There's nothing to learn.
But you have knowledge.
There's nothing to learn. It's just bring light. You don't need to learn anything.
The light is the purpose, right? To bring light to the dark places.
Bring light, but remind people, wake them up. And because here they can find the source as well. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to remember it. And it can happen so simply. And so often it's happening so simply that you smiled at someone, or somebody started to trip and you ran over to them and grabbed their arm. And when they stabilized and you smiled at them, and then you share a greeting and walk away, you gave them some source. And you don't know because you walk away. But many times it was pivotal for this life. People feel source and they don't know it.
What about Cindy? Is she on the path?
Yes.
She is?
This was hard. She didn't know. It was harder than she thought because she has helped others on the path before. She thought that it would be a very quick sensation, and it's not. When you help someone here, you can linger for a lot longer, and that's hard.
It is hard on her?
It's very hard on her.
Do you have any advice for her?
This session was important. She doesn't realize how close to source she is. She feels it, but she doesn't know. But now she knows. She remembers.
Yes, that was important for her.
It is so important for her to give light, and she does it so well, and she doesn't know. It's constant. She just needs to be in a room.
What do you mean, be in the room part?
Just being around somebody is light-giving. She tries to hide that, how kind she is. And how gentle she is, because people have taken advantage. She needs to come back to the kindness. It's okay that she has protected herself. She had to, because she forgot that Source is taking care of her. But she will remember now, and she will have no more anxiety.
Thank you so much. That was very important for her. This message is big. Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes.
She was wondering what we were talking about before the session. She was wondering if she is a second wave of the volunteers.
It's stronger than that.
Can you tell me what that means?
She's closer to Source than second wave.
Here's another question she's wondering. She's wondering why is she so loner?
Protect herself, but she also has always had animals, and they don't feel the same to other people that they do to her. The energy that she receives from animals is stronger than she gets from people.
So animals helping her?
Animals are her guides. She is never lonely, and that concerns and confuses her. There's nothing to worry about.
Okay, thank you for answering that. That's really good. Good news for her. Good answers. She also wondered if that is her first incarnation.
Yes.
That is? As a human?
Yes.
Did she have another lives as an ETs?
No.
So she always been an angel, as we know, angels?
Yes.
So she's been always as an angel, and now she's the first time a human.
Yes.
And that was her decision?
Yes.
Do you know why would she like to be a human?
She didn't know.
She wanted to experience to be a human? Is that why?
No, she wanted to help.
Oh, the help. Okay.
She did not know how hard this was going to be. There was no way to show her.
Only to be, right? To understand?
She just had to experience it.
So that's why she's so sensitive?
Yes.
Because that's the first time incarnate?
Yes.
She also want to know, does my birth chart, Master 33, have a significance?
Very much so. She chose that. We had to help wherever we could. Birth is important. Birth chart is more important than people realize. There's only certain ways that those that come from source can enter. It's a pathway. It's like a crystal slide almost. And it empties out in those days only.
When I'm asking you a question, would you please answer full as much as you can?
Yes.
So we have more information and understand better and learn more from it. She also wrote the question, do you have physical abilities?
She has physical abilities that she doesn't recognize. She doesn't see things on purpose. Her purpose is just to bring the light. There isn't anything else she needs to do. That's very important. It's more important than any of the other things. Bringing her to see the Crystal City again was the most important thing in this life. Once she has remembered that and seen this, she will not have the longing to see extra-terrestrials or spirits or any other thing, and she will become even more focused on bringing the light, and that will bring her comfort that she doesn't need to see, feel, or hear anything else.
You said bringing the light. Give to me examples.
She has the ability just to look into somebody's eyes and bring light. She has the type of face that people want to look at. And when they look at her, she smiles with her eyes, but she also smiles with her face, and people feel it.
Did she choose the way she looks right now?
Yes.
The eyes, the face, the body?
She also chose to be a little chubbier than what she would have liked, as that's more approachable for many.
Interesting. Really? That's how you think? That's how it is, probably, right?
That's how she viewed it.
She viewed it.
I think if she had have been beautiful and thin, she might not have felt as genuine to many. She needed to feel like she was just one of the crowd.
So the way how she look right now, do you recommend her to continue?
She doesn't need to worry about that anymore. She's going to be very thin. She understands now the light can be given regardless of how you look.
And the way how she eats her food and the style of her life, you recommend it for her to stay the same, the diet?
It's taken a long time, and we've been trying to help her. We're so glad that she's figured it out. It was torturous for her, and it was painful to watch. And now that she has this figured out, so much of the focus of life can be on bringing light, being kind, and not focused on how she looks and how sick she was. She needs to continue with this for spirituality as well. We tell her about raw food to help her to become closer to source again. But it's not as important as she is feeling. It was just a tool, one of many. This is also a tool. She will get so much from this session for her spirituality and for reconnecting with source.
That is going to help her, yes.
Being learned, she now sees the brighter the light, she will attract people, and she's so new here. She doesn't see it until she is fully involved. It doesn't matter. She does more studying in spirituality and has more time to bring kindness when she is single. Every day that you do kindness that's abnormal, you're sparking light. She needs to remember when people look at her in an odd way, So not take it personally or be hurt by this. It's abnormal. And at the time that it's happening, they may not acknowledge or understand it, but they feel it afterwards. And it will impact them. There is a statement that she needs to remember. This is so important. You are abnormal. People are not kind like you. You need to continue to be as kind as possible. Do not worry how they look at you. Do not worry how people judge you. Be the change that you want. Try to let go of feeling abnormal. Just be kind and loving and gentle. Everything apart from that is what is abnormal for you. The loving, the kindness, the smiling at strangers, the giving every homeless person anything that you have with a smile and an acknowledgement. People want to look into your eyes. People find your eyes pretty. They're easy to look at, so you can give them that gift and that smile. She thinks that it is frivolous, and it does hurt her feelings when she smiles at people and they look away. Don't worry about that. They felt it. That's what's important.
That is very important. I was mesmerized with her eyes when she was talking to me.
She has had so many comments on her eyes, and she looks at her eyes in fascination. She does not see herself in the mirror the way that others see her, and she's confused often by people saying she's extremely attractive and that she has beautiful eyes. She doesn't see it, so it's confusing. What people see in her eyes is God.
Well, maybe she doesn't see it in the mirror because it's not for her to see. It's for people.
It's what keeps her authentic and was necessary.
I see. Tell me, did she choose her mom and dad?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. A human have a contract with the animals to eat them. Is this such true?
It's actually been a while. It wasn't a contract. It was an agreement.
Oh, it was? So that's why people, humans, were eating animals?
Lack of knowledge is why they were eating animals. As the veil is being lifted and more knowledge is being accessible, people are seeing animals differently. And this is all an important aspect. To show love for an animal is helping people to show love for others, especially if they're not like you.
Yes.
For a long time. And it will be very challenging, but every challenge is something very important for her. It is growing her self-esteem and her belief system in herself, and give kindness and love in stronger doses when she needs to be in person. She'll be able to do this as well because she will have more energy. It is very important.
Could you give to her advice how she could, when she uses all the light or dim a little bit of her light, how she can help herself to fix her light to continue of this life?
This session was so important. She does not really understand how important it was. She did not realize that she would see what she saw. She won't have too many more problems. She knows now. And we were able to give her a dose of source in memory.
Okay. Could she, would you recommend it to her meditate or do some sort of exercise or talking to you for the future, since she will listen this tape?
She tries to meditate and she gets frustrated because she's expecting to hear and see things. It's not important. She already knew this. She enjoys walking in nature, and it's because she hears the trees, she sees the animals, she feels the sunlight. That is one of the most important connection pieces. She just needs to continue to do that. She also needs to remember source. Everything comes from source. Everything is source. There is nothing to fear. There is no worry. She is protected and cared for, and we are caring for her constantly. We are with her constantly, and she is talking to us, and we are talking to her, and she hears us. Many of the things that have been spoken about today are conversations we've already had. She may be slightly disappointed with that. She may say, I already knew that. But what she should do is take from this that we talk to you, and that you talk to us, and we hear you. But more important, you hear us. Please remember, trust. There is no way, it is impossible to be broken from us. You hear us all the time, and we hear you all the time. Please trust that. That is so important. We will always be here, and we will always talk to you. And you received a message from us when you were 20 that you thought was very interesting. You asked us, what's the purpose? What am I doing here? What does this all mean? And we said to you, and we showed you a picture of the word love, and we told you that's all you need to know. And that bothered you, so we told you everything comes from love. Everything is love, and everything will always be love. If everything that you do while you're here has that thought at the front of your mind, you are on the right path. I'm sorry that that little piece of information was not as thunderous as you were hoping, but it's so important. Love for you, love for others, love for planet Earth, love for animals, love for sick, love for angry, love for mean, love for coldness, love for light. Everything, if you just love it, will transform. Is the most important message. You think that God is light. That's not exactly true. God is love. That's the most important thing. Do everything with love, for love, everything, and you'll always be okay.
That's a very good message. Thank you.
She should remember the healing light of Source. She can heal herself. It is not something that we do for her. She does it through Source. She thinks, which we also find very funny and very cute, she must do this in some form of ritual or meditation, certain oils and crystals. She just needs to tap into Source, and she knows how to do that.
She does?
She does. She gets closer to Source.
When
she is in nature. She's asked us recently, why do I like walking on that path so much? She doesn't realize she's in meditation, and she's connected to Source in so many ways. There's been a lot of messages given to her lately about connecting to Source through nature. She has started to lean on trees. She thinks she looks funny. She thinks maybe nothing's happening. Please let her know that's so far from the truth. Touching nature and being in nature and her plants. She has house plants that she is so kind to. She touches their leaves and she asks them, how are you doing? And she says, please let me know if there's something you need. I really want you to be okay. One of her plants had a leaf that had turned yellow, and she struggled with what to do until she waited for a long time and it shriveled, and she was able to effortlessly pull it off. She did this, and then she touched the plant and she asked it, did I do the right thing? And she heard the plant say, yes, thank you for not pulling that off me when it was still alive. And every day she looks at that plant. Earlier on in this session, I saw you before. She didn't say it. She doesn't know why either. She said, you have a lot of light. She recognizes the light.
Does that have some sort of significance? She came to see me?
Very much so.
Really?
She was very frightened to do this. So we gave her messages of comfort. The phone call that you had with her was very important. If she did not feel connected, she would not have continued. It was important, and it was very important that we get her to you and not to someone else. It is hard for her to be around people who are not light. She can do it for short periods of time. It was very hard. Thank you for her being able to see you. We really thank you.
Sure. I have fun talking to you. You give it to me also. So much information. I learn a lot.
Yes.
To be kind and all that stuff. It's very moving.
Yes. I think it is the awakening, the kindness that people are seeing is what is waking them up.
Yes. And I think this session is good for me as well.
Absolutely. You knew that before the session.
Yeah, for sure.
She told you the message that we gave her. The ETs are not important for her. They are important and they are cherished, but not for her.
Yes.
And she has not understood this, and she will be grateful for this, which will confuse her. Some of her sleep has felt energy. We scared her. We turned on her TV, and she thinks it might be ET. It's for us to do that. It's not normal, but her energy when she sleeps is so strong. When we calm, it turned the TV on. She'll know now. It had scared her. She also has felt her grandmother, but her grandmother is very high up in an angelic realm.
Is that true?
It is very true. It is very true. It is very true. She knew this. She's always known this. And that is so important because it's love. Just love. Be kind. Be kind to everybody. Protect yourself. That's self-love. We gotta show her. Her abnormalities are a shining gift. And so many people admire her for these gifts that she has. She knows it on some level, but if she can find it on a deeper level, she'll be okay.
But that's not even important, right?
It is to her.
But not to the plan why she born here.
Not at all.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very hard to understand even, especially have a veil on.
This is why she wanted this session so badly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So many things have been corrected in this session that will surprise her even. So many questions she did not ask have been answered.
Yeah, you've been really good at this. I didn't even say it. You're already answering. You're reading mine. Can you read our minds?
Yes.
I know this.
It's harder here though.
Why?
It's a density.
Yeah. How many of you around her?
It changes, but it can be hundreds. It depends on what is happening. And also what we see. So currently there are hundreds of us. But it's not the way that you think. We are here for support. We're here for knowledge. We want to see how to live a life. It's not always often that we can do that. We're able to do it easier because she got so close to the light, the colored light of knowledge. It makes it easier for us to come and learn from her. But for protection and guidance, you only need a few, but she has hundreds.
How many do I have?
3 strong, 2 not as strong. 5 in total. 3 strong, 2 not as strong.
Are they always with me? Or
Always.
Oh, really? I heard there's some of them come and go.
The ones that are not as strong become stronger. but they're always there. They don't leave.
No. 5, it sounds a lot. Or maybe not, since Wendy had 100. Is that got to do something with the first time being born as a human? I need more help, or it's got nothing to do with that?
This is very hard to explain.
Okay.
But I will try.
Okay, thank you.
It is like watching a movie and gaining knowledge for those that have not lived something as dense without needing to be in the density. It is so many things at the same time that I think you couldn't conceive of my explanation. It is for knowledge, support, love, influence, guidance. It's a form of energy that I cannot really explain to you. Source perceives through these other beings in ways that you couldn't comprehend. It is something that she understands more now that we showed her the bright, colorful lights of knowledge. She understands. She thinks that her grandmother is one of them. This is actually not true. Her grandmother is very, very high up. But she has asked for her grandmother's help on only a few occasions. And every time her grandmother did come. But it's not easy for her to do this. Her grandmother had gifts that she knew about and told her when she was little, I'm going to come back and you'll know it. And that confused her.
She knew that when she was alive?
She did.
That's wonderful. Is she the one who is in the circle in the middle?
No. She's higher than that.
Really? So the Cindy says that Jesus is in a circle.
Yes.
And her grandma is bigger.
Yep.
More knowledgeable.
No, not more knowledgeable.
Stronger.
Her role is bigger.
Okay. Is she right now as a human?
No.
Again?
No.
She is in that room?
She is.
I see. Is there any time that would be possible for Cindy to get that high?
Yes. She doesn't want to.
She doesn't want to?
No.
Can I ask why?
It's so beautiful in the crystal realm. She's fascinated by the knowledge of the bright colors in the crystal floor. That's all she really thinks about. She doesn't think about going higher. She's focused on helping and learning.
But if she wanted, she could go higher.
Absolutely. She won't though. She is really aware of how hard it is for many others to help those coming back into that crystal palace.
Thank you so much for sharing this. That's really good information for humans, really, for everyone around. Should we say goodbyes?
Sure.
Do you want to say something before we say goodbyes?
You had another question.
I do? Yes, I do have another question. Should I go ahead and ask?
Sure.
Oh my God, the angel knew I had a burning question on my mind, and she gave me the chance to ask it. It was about my family, and the angel has some startling advice that nobody else could have known. She spoke with love and kindness, even though her words delivered a hard message. I was left wondering how she could know such things. Her visit to Crystal City only added to the mystery. It was clear that this angel was a part of something bigger, something beyond my understanding. Some writers have tried to define this mysterious group, but their descriptions only deepen the intrigue. Perhaps you are one of these second wave volunteers. They are said to have unique qualities that set them apart from others, like a strong sense of purpose and a feeling of being on a mission, a strong feeling of being different and not fitting in with society, a deep compassion for others and a desire to help them, a high sensitivity to energy, emotions, and the environment, heightened psychic abilities and intuition, a strong connection to spiritual or metaphysical realms, an experience of alien abduction or encounters with other beings, a feeling of nostalgia or homesickness for a place they have never been to, a high degree of creativity and unique way of thinking, and last, a strong interest in spirituality, metaphysics, and alternative healing modalities. Beings come here to volunteer for a reason. Imagine what a beautiful world we could create if we all committed to learning from the wisdom and compassion of volunteers. Let us be inspired by their example and do our part to spread kindness and love, one small act at a time. Together, we can bring more light into the world and make it a better place for all. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in having a past life regression, go to my website at elenanichai.com to learn more or book a session. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when I post new sessions. Thanks and have a great day.